Hello everyone, myself Vishwa Brahmat and these are my teammates Krisha, Krish and Jamie. And today we have gathered here to make you all understand about the software process models. So I'll start by explaining the first model which is known as the waterfall model. So basically waterfall model is also known as the classical waterfall model or the linear sequential model. As you can see on the screen, which is the waterfall model, and it is basically used in the situation where the requirements are well defined and the project goals are clear, and each phase must be completed before the next phase begins. There should not be any kind of overlapping in the process. As you can see on the Jamboard, that the first step is requirement, in which you have to, like in requirement, it is like you have to collect all the information from the client, or you can say the user, to develop the system essential requirements, and then after you have to well document it. Then the second step you can see is designing. After collecting the requirement, on basis of that a design is being made, the hardware, all the software necessities are being mentioned in this, and overall view of the system is mentioned in this. Then as you can see, the third stage, which is the implementation stage. After getting the design stage, that's the implementation stage, in which you have to get input from the design, and first the model is being divided into smaller parts, smaller units, and all the units are being tested. After that, it goes to the verification, which is also known as the testing stage, in which all the smaller units are being tested together, and it checks if there is any kind of bugs or any kind of failure. There are two types of testing, which is alpha testing and beta testing. Now in alpha testing, the bugs or the any failures which are there or not, they are checked by the development team. And in beta testing, it is checked by the friendly set of customers. And at last, you can say the deployment, which means it is released in customer's environment. And the last stage, as you can see on the Jamboard, is maintenance. So it's like if any kind of bug or failure is being not detected in the earlier stages, then it could be done at this particular last stage. And if you want to improve the functionality, it can be done. So waterfall model is best suitable for the small projects, which is its advantage, main advantage, and it is easy to understand. And disadvantage is that there are no feedback paths, and it is difficult to accommodate new changes if made after the process has been started. So this was all about the waterfall model. Now my teammate Krisha will tell about further process models.
Hello everyone, I'm Krisha Patel. I'm going to explain you spiral model. Spiral model has four phases in it: plan, risk analysis, develop, and again release. So first is planning, as we will get the documentation and the requirements of the customers or the uh, client. We will plan the whole phase and we will do the risk analysis in the second phase. And again, we will go in the third phase where the designing, coding, testing, everything will be done. We will do now, then we will plan this next phase. After phase, we will do the customer reviews. After that, again, the first phase loop will be start. It is also known as meta model because it contains two model in it: iterative water model and prototype model. When we complete first loop, it completes water model, iterative water model, and again, after making small modules of prototype, we complete the whole spiral model. It's mostly used for large projects. Now I will like to call my teammate Jamie for the next model.
Hello everyone. So we will start with the RAID model. First of all, what's the full form of RAID model? So RAID model is the Rapid Application Development Model. This means there is a big project, or you can say there are multiple modules in a particular project. So each and every module is processed parallelly. So first of all, first of all the requirements of for that particular modules are made, then the implementation is done or the coding part is done, then the testing part is done, and then the turnover or the handover to the project is done. This model is mainly used by most of mainly MNC company use this. Means they are having the time binding. Means if you for take example that I want this project or I want this product to be made within 6 to 8 months. So using RAID model, this can be done. So first of all, the features for the read model are quick prototyping, iterative development, incremental release, user impact, time boxing, and parallel developing. So first the model means the business analysis is done where the user roles are given. Then in the second one, data modeling. That means the relationships are made between the admin and the client, or you can say relationships are made between the admin and the management, etc. things, and you can create the schema in the data modeling. Then comes the part, the process modeling. This means the creating the flow chart, means how my project will work. Means first the user will sign up this page, then he will or she will log in the page, then he or she will go to or redirected to the home page and all the things. Means this one the flow of the project is described here in the process modeling. Then the application modeling means where or how to launch the project. Means if the user want a web application or an application, mobile application, Android application, how you want to deploy this project is decided here. And then the last part is the testing and turnover part. So after completing all the modules work are done parallelly. So after completing all the modules, the testing is done for the particular module, so that if any bugs or if any changes are required, at that time only you can change that. And after completing all this, the last one, that is the deployment stage, the project is been deployed or is been shipped to the client, shipped to the client. Yes. So this way the rate model work. Now I would like Krish to continue the next.
Hello everyone, my name is Krish and I would like to explain the agile model. As the name suggests, agile means swift. So it is a model in which the long-term planning is not directly involved. So in this model, the shift planning and the quick thinking is used by the developers and all the teammates of the development company. And it is a model that requires quick thinking and quick work. That is why the name is agile model. So I would like to start by explaining the diagram. So in the diagram we can see that so normally the agile model is divided into six phases. The phases are requirement gathering, design the requirements, construction or iteration, testing, quality or reassurance, and deployment and feedback. So first of all, requirement gathering is a phase in which the clients and the software development team is decided is software development team is gathered information all about the software which the customer want. So requirement gathering is that phase in which all the details about the project has been gathered by the software development company. Then the phase come is design the requirements. The design the requirements is a phase in which the software development teams just gather all the requirements and start working on it as quickly as possible. And in that phase, the requirements are designed accordingly the customer wants. Then comes the phase iteration. Iteration is a phase in which we can see that there is a loop in the diagram. So in that loop, all the parts are covered in that loop. All the parts are covered in that loop, and it iterates as the project continues. So it covers all the parts, like we can see here that it is brainstorm, which means the gathering the ideas or to work on the project, to think about what can we do, what can we innovate in the project. Then the design phase, how can we make the design most and more and more user friendly and user convenience. How we can do the development phases in which the we can we can provide we can clear all of the errors in the development phases and make the app more reliable for the customer and other users. The next phase is called quality assurance. The quality assurance is a phase in which the quality of the product is maintained according to the in the quality assurance phase. The reviews and the feedbacks are the most important part. The reviews and the feedbacks of the customer are considerate, and they are used to, and they are used for the more and more quality of the products of the or the software. Okay, so the next phase we have is deployment phase. In the deployment phase, the software is ready to go, and it is ready to use by all the users and all the customers. And it is and in that phase, the app is running at its full potential, or the software is running at its full potential, and it is used by all the users of the different kind. So deployment is a phase. It is a real phase of testing phase. We can say it is the real testing phase because it is used by all the different users, and in that phase we have to maintain the software and maintain the software, and we have to ensure that the software is working at its full, and it is performing at as we have expected. So that is the deployment phase. Thank you.
Okay, so the next model I'm explaining is incremental model. Incremental models includes module by module development. Rather than developing whole software at a time, we create it module by module. So first module is designed, then testing is done in that module, and then we release that module to the customer. They do the testing in it. We take the reviews from the customers, and we see what they require next in the next phase of the module. We do the incrementation in that module. So it is known as incremental model because we do the incrementation in the previous module only. So the next build-up will be done by design, again the design, development, testing, and implementation phase. We will do it for the build n times because we don't know how many changes we need in it. It's very flexible to the changes. It's mostly used for large projects. Customer interaction is maximum in these models, and the implementation model is mostly used when we need a little bit of our software released in the market, and we take them. If we see management, it's mostly used in management, like we see in colleges. So it's done like we need students attendance first, so we just make the attendance one and then release it. Again, we do the incrementation. It students can see the attendance and everything. Again, we release the model, incrementing the previous module. That's why it's known as incrementation model. So the next model will be explained by my teammate Jaimin Vasa.
So the next model is the V model. So it is mainly or also known as verification and validation model. It is an extension of waterfall model. The diagram displays itself. It is in the shape of V form. So mainly testing is associated with each and every phase of this model. So in the verification phase, the requirement analysis are done, system design is done, architecture design is done, and the module design is done. So mainly the requirement analysis is done where the user sends the requirement of to the developer or the business analyst that he or she wants these types of requirement. Then in next, the system design means how whole the system is working or will work. The particular system will how the particular system will work, that is described here. And after getting the knowledge about, or after getting the idea about system design, the testing of that design is done. The next one is the architecture design, means how a particular model or how a particular prototype will work. That is described here. And after discussing of that particular prototype, the testing is being done of the same model. Then next one is the module design. So in the module design, how a uh, particular, you can say, a part of the product or a particular part of the whole software, for example a payment gateway. So first, payment gateway will, how the payment gateway will work, that is described in the module design. Means the means the payment gateway type small models are described here and tested here. Then last one phase is the coding phase, where all of these are described, and the developer develops all these particular prototypes and send it to the testers. The testers will test all these models. If any changes are required, then he or she would again send it to the development phase for the changes required in the prototype or the model, and then the product is being shipped to the client or to the user. So main advantages of this V model are, it is time saving, then it is very good for a project to be understand at the starting only. Then every component must be testable, means each and every component starting from the requirement analysis till the coding and the test till the coding part, each and every product or the prototype is tested every time. Then fourth one is the progress is being tracked easily, means how much progress the product has make is tracked easily. And the last one is the proactive defect tracking. The disadvantages for this seems are no feedback, so less scope of changes. There is no any feedback form, means in the between. The feedback form is at the last only. So if the changes are required, you have to do it from the first or from the initial stage only. Then second one is the risk analysis is not done, cause the system analysis is done in the first phase. No risk analysis is done here. And the last one is not good for big and object oriented projects, means this prototype or this model is not used for the huge projects like Amazon, Google, payment, Zomato, etc. Applications. Thank you.
So this is the iterative waterfall model. As the name suggests, iterative waterfall model, which is similar to classical waterfall model, or we can say linear sequential model. So the main difference both of them have is, like in iterative we have feedback path, where in waterfall model we didn't have the feedback path. So in this also overlapping cannot be done. The main change is the feedback path, and there are 6 steps in the iterative waterfall model. The first is feasible study, means to check whether the organization can afford this or not, or the various factors are there, the project can be done or not, all the requirements are being studied here. Then the second, as you can see, is requirement analysis and specifications. As mentioned earlier in waterfall model also, it is similar. The requirements are gathered as per the clients or the users, and on that the system is being developed. Then the third stage comes, which is the design part. Means the design of the system is being created roughly on the basis of the requirement gathered from the user. Then we have the coding and the unit testing, which means the development of the system begins on this stage, and it is being referred by the design, how will it would be look, how it is being created, which technology is to be used. Everything would be done on the basis of the design and the specifications given. And then we have integration and system testing, which means if once the system is being built, then it will ensure that all the functions are running properly or not, if there are any kind of failures or not, and it would check that. And then it would last deploy it, which means it is being released in customer's environment. And then we have last step, which is maintenance, which is same as the waterfall. Means everything would be checked in this, and if anything is not being kept, means not being tested in the further period, then it could be executed here or it could be bugged here. And the main advantage this model have is the quality assurance, cost effective, It has feedback path with waterfall model didn't have, and it is simple and easy to manage. But as we have advantages, we also have disadvantages of this model, which is difficult to accommodate changes. It cannot have overlapping of the stages, and risk handling is not being supported here. And there is no intermediate kind of delivery, which means the model is not being released in the half of the process. We have to wait till the end to get process completed, and then only the model is being released. So this was all about the iterative. Now my teammate would tell about the further models.
Yeah, so the next model I'm explaining is prototype model. So in the prototype model, as the name suggests, we do not create the app or the software that we have to, but we just make prototype of the software that we have to develop. And in the prototype model, we have to first start with the as the diagram suggests, we have to first start with the requirement gathering. So in the requirement gathering phase, we have to gather all the requirements from the user. We have to identify the requirements that the user wants, and we have to planning according to the requirements that we have gathering. So the next phase in the prototype model is quick decision. So quick decision is a phase in which we have to make the decisions on how we have to make the software or the software or the web or app we have to or app or web we have to make. So in the quick decision phase, we have to just uh, decide according to the requirement we have gathered, and we have to plan according to the requirement we have gathered, and we have to plan along the all the different other phases. The okay so Yeah, so the next phase is to build a prototype. In this phase, we have to create a smaller version of the software or the app or the web that the user wants according to the user requirements. In that phase, the user will test the prototype first. So in that way, if the user want any changes, it won't affect the main software that we have to build, but it will affect the prototype model. We have to change the prototype model, and it is a co and that is why and that is the main reason why prototype model is cost efficient, because we don't have to the change in the main software again and again according to the user requirement, but we can change the prototype first, and we have to ensure that the prototype is good as the main software. So yeah, this is why the prototype model is known for its cost efficiency. And so it doesn't affect the main software a lot. The main software in the prototype model is both are the same, and the prototype model will be the copy of the main software. Okay, that was the prototype phase. The next phase is customer evaluation of prototype. As I said, the in the customer evaluation of prototype, the prototype is tested by the customer. It is checked by the customer that the prototype is well done and it is according to the requirements or not. If it is according to the requirement by the it is according to the requirement by the customers, then it is approved by the customer, which is the next step of the prototype model, that is acceptance by customer. If the prototype model is accepted by the customer, then it is used to make a copy and that copy will be used as the main software that customer wants. If then after customer accepting the uh, prototype, we can go to the next phase, which is design phase. Design phase is a phase in which we design and make the software according to the user, and make the main prototype model into and convert the prototype model into the main software that the customer wants, by adding all the designing and the implementation part. So the designing and the implementation part is both similar. The designing phase is done, and then the implementation phase is carried out. Then after the implementation phase, we have the next phase, which is testing. So testing is a phase in which the software is tested by the different testers, and the different testing is done on the different testing is done on the software to check if the software is reliable, scalable, and it doesn't crash, or it doesn't crash, or doesn't provide, or doesn't give any error at the time of at the time of more traffic. So that this all the these are the things that have that these are the things that that is covered in the testing phase. Then we have the next phase, which is maintenance phase. So maintenance phase is the phase which is carried out after the deployment phase. The deployment phase is completed. Then we have to maintain the software as per the we have to maintain the software as per the user requirements. If user wants any update after the deployment of the app or the software, then it can be carried out in the maintenance phase. Yeah, so that's it for the prototype phase for right now. I'd like to ask Jaimin Vasar to explain next model, which is DevOps.
Okay. The diagram defines itself. It is a mixture of two departments, that is the development department and the operation departments. The development departments includes the following things, that is the design, the code development, and the etc things, like maintenance, testing, etc. And the second one is the operation phase, which manages the server, which checks the security, which checks the scaling and the backup of the server, etc things. So DevOps is the insertion of development and the operation phases. The operation department gives the feedback to the development phase that if a product is made but a changes is required, or if any bugs arises, then it gives the feedback to the development stage. The development stage makes it clear, and then it once again send it to the operation phase for the testing purpose. So a big tech team is required here to maintain the both phases. Now, mainly the advantages of DevOps are increase the team productivity, then speed increases, means one of the model is been made, then it is given to the operation phase for the testing. At the same time, the second module is been on a way to develop. Then the collaboration means both the teams work to get together for a same model, which increases the quality of the product. Then last one is the decreasing load, means not only the developer has to design the software, has to do the backend part of the software, has to do the testing of the software. So multiple teams are being divided so that the project can be managed easily. And the last one is increase the quality of product. As I said, if both the team or multiple teams will work together, the quality of the product will increases and the customer would be satisfied with the work. That's it for today. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.